Okay, you guys, so I'm trying to get to the bottom of what's going on with ASAP Rocky and Rihanna, because the way Rocky is talking lately has people side-eyeing heavy. The headline that's making waves is ASAP Rocky joking, or maybe not joking, about him and Rihanna catching up to Nick Cannon when it comes to kids. And now people are wondering if baby number 4 is already loading. And mind you, this isn't coming from some random source. This is Rocky himself putting the idea out there while already being a father of 3 with one of the most famous women on the planet. Now, let's get into the receipts, because context matters. The blind item reads like this. During a recent conversation or interview, ASAP Rocky was asked if he wants more children, and instead of shutting it down or giving a safe answer, he leaned all the way in. He reportedly joked that he and Rihanna are about to catch up to Nick Cannon, who is famously a father of 12. That line alone sent fans into speculation mode, because you don't casually bring up Nick Cannon numbers unless you're at least open to expanding the roster at home. What makes this more interesting is that Rocky didn't say this like a man overwhelmed or hesitant. He said it confidently, comfortably, like someone who genuinely enjoys fatherhood and isn't stressed by the idea of adding more responsibility. And let's be real, that's not no light work. Being a hands-on dad while juggling music, fashion, legal pressure, and global fame is already a lot. So when someone speaks this casually about more kids, it tells you their home life is probably more stable than people assume. Now, this is where the internet started running with it. Some fans immediately jumped to baby number 4 on the way, while others think this was just Rocky being playful and exaggerating. There has been no official confirmation from Rihanna herself, no visible announcement, no coordinated reveal, which is why people are careful to say allegedly when discussing whether another baby is already in the picture. Still, history tells us Rihanna doesn't rush announcements, and when she does reveal, it's always on her terms. Let's be real for a second. Rihanna is very intentional about how she moves, especially when it comes to pregnancy and family. She revealed her first pregnancy in a very public, fashion-forward way, and with the second, she waited until it felt right. So if there is a baby number 4 situation developing, it wouldn't surprise anyone if we don't hear about it for a while. She's earned the right to privacy, and Rocky seems aligned with that energy. It really makes you wonder how much this couple has quietly planned behind the scenes. Rocky has openly embraced being a family man, something that doesn't always happen smoothly for artists in his lane. He talks about fatherhood with pride, not obligation. That's a shift from the old industry stereotype where men rack up kids without structure. Rocky's framing is different. He sounds committed, present, and genuinely excited about building a big family. Another layer people aren't talking about enough is how this compares to the Nick Cannon reference itself. Nick Cannon is often used as a punchline when it comes to having a lot of kids, but Rocky mentioning him casually suggests he's not viewing multiple children as chaos. He's viewing it as abundance. That's a very specific mindset, especially when paired with a partner like Rihanna, who has built an empire and clearly values stability over mess. Now, from a public perception standpoint, this conversation does something interesting. It reinforces the image of ASAP Rocky and Rihanna as a unit, not just a celebrity couple. They're being discussed in terms of legacy, lineage, and long-term planning. That's a big shift from how both of them were viewed earlier in their careers. And if this is true, it's very concerning, in a good way, for anyone who thought this relationship was temporary or just vibes. So here's where I want to pause and ask y'all something. Do you think ASAP Rocky is serious about wanting a big family? Or do you think he was just talking spicy and letting the internet do what it does best? And do you think Rihanna would even want to go Nick Cannon level with kids? Or is this Rocky dreaming out loud? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. What shifts the conversation here is the logistics nobody likes to talk about when celebrities mention more kids. This isn't just about desire, it's about capacity. Raising 3 children while running global brands, touring schedules, fashion houses, and film projects is already intense. Adding a 4th changes the math completely. Nannies, security, travel logistics, schooling, privacy, it all multiplies. That's why people aren't brushing this comment off. It signals long-term planning, not impulse. Another angle that stands out is timing. Rihanna is at a peak where she can literally do whatever she wants professionally. She doesn't need to rush albums, tours, or endorsements. That freedom makes the idea of another child more plausible than it would be for most artists. Rocky, meanwhile, is repositioning himself post-legal stress and leaning heavily into fatherhood as part of his identity. That alignment matters. Big families only work when both parents are moving in sync. Let's be real for a second. The Nick Cannon comparison is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Nick Cannon's situation is often criticized because of structure, not numbers. Rocky mentioning him casually suggests he sees a clear difference between scattered parenting and a centralized family unit. That's not no light work to imply publicly, because it places Rocky and Rihanna in a completely different category of many kids, one household. What also hasn't been discussed enough is age and energy. Rocky is still young enough to envision multiple kids without feeling stretched thin, and Rihanna has consistently spoken about wanting a family that feels full, not rushed. That doesn't automatically mean baby number 4 is imminent, but it does mean the door isn't closed. And when celebrities leave doors open publicly, the internet walks straight through them. It really makes you wonder how much of this conversation is about legacy rather than pregnancy. Kids are permanents. They anchor you. For two people who've lived fast, global, highly scrutinized lives, choosing more children can be a way of grounding themselves long-term. That's a very different motivation than boredom or ego. If this is true, it's very concerning for anyone still framing this relationship as temporary or performative. Public reaction has also been telling. Fans aren't panicking, they're romanticizing it. That only happens when a couple feels stable. Compare that to how people react when other celebrities hint at more kids. Usually it's skepticism or backlash. Here, the dominant reaction is, that makes sense. Perception doesn't lie. The audience already sees them as a family-first unit. Now, let me ask y'all straight up. Do you think A$AP Rocky is serious about wanting a big family? Or do you think he was just talking spicy and letting the internet do what it does best? And do you think Rihanna would even want to go Nick Cannon level with kids? Or is this Rocky dreaming out loud? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you like these kinds of grounded but real conversations about celebrity families and what's really behind the headlines, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown.